Conference title.
It has been unseasonably hot here in the Valley of the Sun the last 2 days, 104 degrees, but it'll be warmer inside the Coliseum tonight. Good evening, everybody. I'm Brent Musburger. The Utah Jazz, they must win tonight or their season is over. If the Phoenix Suns win, then they draw Los Angeles for the championship of the West. You can see that reflected in our brackets right here. Earlier tonight in the East, in a game marred by a fight involving Sugar Ray Richardson, Milwaukee has eliminated the New Jersey Nets by a single point, and now will play the winner of the Celtics and the Knicks for the Eastern Conference title. Again, a great pleasure for me to be working alongside the coach, Kevin Lockery. And Kevin, what about the styles of these two teams? I'm sure that a whole lot of fans don't know much about Phoenix and Utah.
Brent, they're different styles. Phoenix would like to get a slower pace game, a half-court game to take advantage of its greatly big front line of Larry Nance, James Edwards, and Maurice Lucas, and a great play of Walter Davis, where Utah wants to push the ball up the floor, give the ball to Rickey Green, let him generate the break, hit Griffith and Dantley to finish it off. Really different styles.
Anyway, the Suns can stop Adrian Dantley. He's been getting more than 30 points in 4 of the 5 games.
Brent, I don't think they can stop him. Neither can the other team stop Walter Davis. So we got two players that can't be stopped in the series.
Good to have you here because that means we're going overtime tonight, Coach. And we'll be back. It's Game 6, Phoenix and Utah, on the CBS Network in just a moment.
Light beer from Miller. Everything you always wanted in a beer and less. Mazda and the full line of sophisticated Mazda products. And by the over 1,200 Midas muffler and brake shops.
My daughter calls it the Blue Bomber. My wife thinks I ought to get rid of it. And when it needed a new muffler, well, I was afraid she might be right.
Listen. I don't want to spend too much on this car.
Midas had a muffler that was perfect for my budget. Now the old Blue Bomber sounds almost as good as new. And heck, she doesn't look that bad.
Trust a Midas touch.
There's a lot of low-priced trucks out there, but this one's the best truck value. Mazda B2000 Sundowner. At $57.95, it's the only economy truck with a 5-speed, steel-belted radials, tinted glass, and full carpeting, all standard, which also happens to make it the lowest-priced truck in America with all that standard equipment.
Sakes alive, sakes alive, sakes alive. Mazda's got the best truck value for just $57.95. Sakes alive.
For you, there's only one way to paint, because you really care about what you do. So, for you, we make only one quality of paint, our best. Pittsburgh Paints. It always goes on smoothly, covers beautifully, and stays beautiful for years and years. It's the paint that makes painting worth the effort. Pittsburgh Paints.
We are back in the Veterans Memorial Coliseum. Frank Layden, what a tremendous coaching job he has done with the Utah Jazz. Everyone's pick as Coach of the Year. Tonight, he'll match wits against the very classy man who leads the Phoenix Suns, John McLeod. And, of course, the men that you will see starting this game, and some of them will not be finishing it. There's Thurl Bailey for the Jazz up against Larry Nance. He was shut out the last time out for the Suns. The big fellas, Dantley and Lucas. They'll match up at one end, but perhaps not at the other. 7'4" Mark Eaton. He'll match up against James Edwards of the Suns in the pivot. Then in the backcourt, it is Rickey Green and Kyle Macy of Phoenix. And here's where Walter Davis takes on Darrell Griffith, two splendid shooters. Our officials tonight, Jess Kersey and Paul Mahalik, and Hugh Hollins. He will be the alternate. Kevin, here is a legitimate 7'4" center, Mark Eaton for the Jazz.
He's all offensive, man. He's really a big guy, and he's played very well for you.
The Suns in their home white. Davis, wearing number 6, goes through Nance. This is Edwards. He's keeping Eaton out away from the basket in this sequence. Gets it back, moves, and takes the jump shot. Rickey Green to Thurl Bailey, the rookie from North Carolina State. And here's Eaton. He's out of UC UCLA. Did not play much as a collegian there. Jump hook thrown up by Bailey. Now you will see the Jazz pressure Macy in particular. They do not think he's that good of a ball handler. They would prefer that Davis bring the ball up across the timeline. Thus, they say he would pass it rather than shoot it, where he is much more lethal. Edwards looking for his second shot, and Eaton stayed right with him, and it's traveling.
That's intimidation by Eaton. You'll see an awful lot of that. He led the league in block shots, and also he intimidates. He's so big he doesn't have to jump to intimidate you.
Here's Adrian Dantley. When he scores, he's frequently fouled. Eaton, you will not stop him there, but he did miss the shot. Bailey had it knocked away from him, and here's Macy for the Suns. Edwards. Double teamed, and it's called against Edwards, his first, and it'll go over. On the offensive foul, a turnover, Jazz ball. Griffith takes the ball from the side, and here's Rickey Green. He'll handle it for him. Dantley.
If he hits that outside shot like that, it's going to be a long night for Maurice Lucas. They give him that shot because he's so tough inside, and if he gets off with that, it'll be a long night.
Macy goes the other way away from the pick, and Edwards was rolling. Ball batted back, controlled by the Suns, and here's Davis. Davis all over Griffith. Dantley again outside. Controlled Edwards. Stolen. Rickey Green hits Griffith.
Brent, Rickey Green leads the league in steals. He's got great hands and super quickness. He's a great story. He was out of the league. He's one of the top guards in the league right now. Really the only point guard on the floor, the legitimate point guard.
Signed by Nance, and that is a big basket for that young man as he was held scoreless in Game 5 up in the Salt Palace. They had to get him off early. That was part of the plan. Bailey waits for the cutter. Can't get free, takes it back outside. Here's Griffith with a three-point try. Lucas rebounds. Here's Davis. Slowed by Griffith. Still gets through. Dishes off to Edwards.
James Edwards at 7 feet can shoot the outside shot, and he's bringing Eaton away from the hoop. They've gone to him 4 of the first 5 times down the floor.
Quick pace so far. Bailey again waiting for cutters. It'll be Green. Down away from the ball. There's a 3-second violation. On the turnover, it'll go to the Suns. Nance blocked, and it's scored.
That's a great break from Larry Nance to be able to hit his first 2 shots. He actually is the key to this club. They play Lucas on Dantley, so Nance does not get in foul trouble because he's more versatile. He can play the small forward and the big forward spot.
So, Kevin, the Suns break early now. They've hit their first 5 from the field. Dantley. Lucas had a hand close on him. Rebound Edwards. On the turnover, it's Green. Dantley's on his right. Edwards snaps it away from Adrian. Hits Nance. Lucas waits. Offensive foul.
Brant, one thing we've seen, Phoenix, because they're home, it's such a big game, they've decided to run the ball up the floor tonight as much as possible.
Nance should have passed the ball to Lucas that time. He was the open man.
Lucas was upset, Brant.
Griffith. Bailey. Hands back to Griffith. Both of them played on NCAA championship teams. Griffith at Louisville. Gets it back, puts it up. Eaton underneath. Stolen. Here come the Suns. Lucas. Deflected, stolen again by Green. Here he comes.
That's Green's third steal already. We've only played less than 5 minutes. He's sensational stealing the basketball.
Suns have called a timeout.
John McLeod does not like the way that they're running the ball up the floor. I think he'd like to slow the game down a little bit.
New Jersey, 98-97.
We blasted a hole through this master lock on TV. We became the target for a lot of doubters. Since then, newspaper reporters, police departments, even a famous consumer advocate have all given it their best shot. Often more than one. And in dozens of cases, all documented, the master lock held tight. Bulletproof that master locks are tough under fire.
When my dad ran this business, he never came home until after we were in bed. Inventory one night, payroll the next. So I got an Epson personal computer to help me run things. Only Epson has this keyboard with keys in English, not computerese. One button gives me my schedule, draws a graph. In fact, the Epson runs more programs than an IBM PC. My Epson does a lot of things, and it does them easily. But what it does best is let me go home.
If you think all oil filters are the same, look at this Purolator filter. It protects rods, pistons, the camshaft, and 11 other specific engine parts against oil filter failure. And it backs it up with the Purolator product's first 50,000-mile engine protection plan. Comply with the plan, and your engine's protected for its first 50,000 miles. So next time, don't put on an oil filter that says it'll protect your engine. Put on one that guarantees it. Purolator. Enter the Purolator 50,000-mile sweepstakes. Grand prize, 50,000 miles of free air travel on TWA.
On our scoreboard tonight, Milwaukee having beaten New Jersey, they advance to the Eastern Conference Final, and in the Stanley Cup Final Series, Edmonton over the Nassau Coliseum beat the champion Islanders 1-0. Kevin McClellan scored the only goal in that game, and Edmonton wins a big one. They're going to run that series much like the World Series. There will be 2 games on the island, and they'll go out to Edmonton for 3, and if necessary, the remaining 2 back on Long Island. Here it's the Suns' ball. They lead this series 3 victories to 2. Macy penetrates. Davis hounding Griffith. All over him, and that time Dantley was fouled. Nance coming across with him.
Every time Dantley cuts across the basket, they switch from Lucas to Nance, and it's a big man against Dantley. I don't think either one can guard him.
Green. Macy rebounds. Suns have not missed tonight from the floor yet. Lucas, up and in.
Great pass by Macy. He made a layup the previous play. Now a good pass for 2 for Lucas.
Bailey.
Darrell Griffith, he's North Carolina State last year. He's had a great rookie year, can play defense, and when he makes the outside jumper, he can be real tough.
Frank Layden will go to his bench. Macy was intimidated, and there's a 3-second violation, and it goes against Macy. He simply did not squeeze the trigger because of Big Eaton standing there.
That's as good as a block shot. They got a turnover out of intimidation by Eaton. They just brought in Jerry Eves, and Eves is a very, very streak shooter. If he can get hot to the outside, they're going to give him the outside shot. He's a left-hand. He's got to make the outside jumper.
Here's Griffith. Lucas rebounded. Edwards sends it back to Macy. Loose. Macy and the Suns. Davis.
That's like a layup for Walter Davis, friend. He won't miss too many open jumpers. Macy has done a real nice job so far leading the team.
Dantley, double team, sends it back to Griffith. Shot clock at 5, Eves. Lucas rebounds again, and it's Mason. Nance. Eaton. And Griffith pounds it down for the Jazz. Foul is against Davis. That's his first tonight. Second team foul here against the Suns. 4:52 to go in the first period.
Sanders has come in the game for Nance. It's a small man, and he'll bang around with Dantley. Look for Utah to go down and deep to Dantley. Here they are.
Try to go back to Eves. Hit by Phoenix. Jazz ball. There's Sanders. Kevin told you just checked into the game.
He's a very good athlete, also a streak shooter, but he's strong, but he's got his hands full with Dantley down deep.
Dantley's been shooting away from the basket so far, Kevin.
That's going to get him in trouble. He's got to get down and deep, draw some fouls, not on jump shots. He's missed 4 jump shots so far.
Macy missing. Bailey rebounding. Here's Griffith. Eves sends it back to Griffith. Goes down hard. And it's against the Jazz. It'll go over now to the Suns. Griffith slammed into it.
Excuse me, Griffith's been the middleman on the break. He should be on the wings, and he should be handling the ball more.
Lucas. Here they come. This time Eves is handling the ball. And he was fouled as he came through right down by the free throw line. And it was on Maurice Lucas.
Here's Eves looking for Griffith. Griffith does not handle the ball very well. Sanders jumps in, takes the charge. That's a weak point with Griffith's game. He's not a very good ball handler, but he can shoot the basketball.
Here is Eaton. Banging against Edwards. Falls down. 3-second violation.
Utah is very fortunate they haven't got blown out of this game. They're not executing it well offensively. They're missing shots, but it's still only a 7-point game.
Edwards. Lucas puts it down on Bailey, sends it back to Edwards. Lucas not blocked off underneath. Back on the other side by Davis. Frank Layden will try to regroup the Utah Jazz. They have fallen behind by 9 points.
In Milwaukee, a new era has begun. The new Harley-Davidson company is living up to its name.
Have given Harley a new image and made their motorcycles more interesting to those who now ride the machines.
Harley achieved this modernization, sacrificing none of the unique character. As oil-tight as a thermos. More power at every engine.
A Harley does something that no other motorcycle does. If you want to find out for yourself, go ride one.
The new Harleys. Ride one.
This camping trip was a good idea. Yeah, it sure is relaxing.
Peaceful. Groovy.
Groovy? Kind of dark, though. Man, I'm getting thirsty. Yeah, let's have another light beer from Miller.
Let's Philly! Let's Philly! Let's Philly! Let's Philly!
What was that?
The creature.
What creature?
Well, legend has it that a horrible thing stalked these woods.
Oh, Mickey!
And it comes out when the moon is full.
What does this creature look like?
It walks on 2 legs, but it isn't human.
It's got big eyes that bulge out and... It's the creature! Hey, guys, where you going? Hey, guys, where are the marshmallows?
Light beer from Miller. Everything you always wanted in a beer, and less.
Come on, it's after us! Man, did you see that thing?
Saturday, the PGA Tour visits Texas, where some of the world's top players will match strokes and strategy at the Byron Nelson Golf Classic, starting Saturday on CBS Sports.
Saturday afternoon, we'll have live coverage of the third round of the Byron Nelson Golf Classic. There's our leaderboard after the first round, and look at all those unknowns. Every time you turn around, there's some youngster coming out after you in golf, and I'll tell you, it's something, isn't it, Kevin?
It sure is. Brent, you were 5 under today, weren't you, Brent?
That was through 2 holes. That is the mascot here in Phoenix, and he tried to arouse this crowd. Their Suns leading by 9 points, 19-10, and Rich Kelly has checked in, but Eaton will stay on the floor, so they'll use both their 7-footers in this lineup. Kelly crashes and makes his presence felt immediately, and what a boost that could give, and he may have injured his wrist ever so slightly when he jammed that one in. Now the Suns' Mike Sanders sends it back to Lucas. Kelly is taking Lucas. They'll try to seal him off that glass a little bit more than they were doing. Davis with that pull-up jump shot is so quick.
He's such a great player, and you can't let him get to the middle that easily. You got to put more pressure on Walter Davis. Griffith could not play him.
Lucas will take Kelly for the Suns. Davis is out on Griffith. Tied him up that time, and there was a foul call. Jess Kersey, and it's against Walter Davis, and he was disputing it as Hansen checks in for the Utah Jazz.
Hansen's the best outside shooter they have, so he's in the game to try to hit some jump shots because they're double teaming and triple teaming Adrian Dantley.
I hit that one.
That's still not his shot, though. He's got to get inside a little deeper, but they're double teaming. It's pretty difficult. Hansen has to hit some outside shots, or Rickey Green has to hit some.
Macy penetrates, sends off to Sanders. Here's Macy. Suns have dominated the first period. Kelly in low. Lucas blocked it. Here's Macy. Drew the foul. Hansen and Kelly both were guarding him. And that will be number 1 against Hansen. And now John McLeod goes back to his bench, and that's Charles Pittman, number 32. And number 33, Alvan Adams, both check in. And Paul Westphal is going to replace Davis.
This will be a key spot for Phoenix to see if they can hold their lead with the people coming off the bench. Adams is a good basketball player. Westphal is an excellent player. Pittman has done a good job. So they don't get a whole drop off, but they're going to be taking out Davis, and he really is the big scorer.
So that's 10 points and 4 assists now for Davis. Kelly with the rebound, and Dantley will maneuver inside. Loose. Here come the Suns. Adams back to Sanders. You'd never know that the Utah Jazz beat the Phoenix Suns 4 out of 5 times during the regular season. Work a backdoor, Dantley.
Utah's running too many plays right now. They're not pushing the ball up the floor. They've got to fasten the pace to this game. They're going to get in serious trouble. John McLeod's looking for a 20-second timeout. But the pace has really fell into Phoenix's hands. Utah's not a real strong setup team. They like to run the ball, and they haven't been able to, Brett.
Now, John will use that timeout to get Paul Westphal back into the lineup. Westphal, of course, came out of USC, played for the Celtics, then he came down here to the Suns, and he was an instant star, helped lead them into an NBA championship series where they were beaten by the Celtics. Then he became a bit of a vagabond, finally winding up with the New York Knicks, and he was reclaimed down here in Phoenix, and he has been a valuable bench man for John McLeod here this season. This is a team that did not come together until perhaps the last week.
That's exactly right. They finished up winning the last 6 games of the year. John McLeod was not happy with this team all year. They've gone to more physical players, and it seems to have helped them in the playoffs, but it didn't help them all season. But they're playing good basketball right now.
Jerry Colangelo perhaps looking ahead to a possible confrontation with Kareem Abdul-Jabbar and the Lakers for the championship, where he needed more size. He had Alvan Adams playing him in the pivot, and that was not enough. Macy. It goes over to the Jazz out of bounds. Here's Green maneuvering. Kelly wanted Dantley. Last shot time.
With Phoenix, you have to be awful careful of Macy and Adams getting in the 2-man game for a 3-pointer for Macy, or Westfall coming off a pick in the last shot of the quarter. Here's Westfall.
Forces it up. So that's the end of the first period. With our score, Phoenix 27, Salt Lake 16. And we'll return to Veterans Coliseum after these messages from your local station.
He's the guy who makes it happen for the Lakers. 2-time playoff MVP Earvin Magic Johnson. The NBA playoffs follow the Magic on CBS Sports. This is CBS.
Life's financial crossroads. Which route do you take to make your money grow? The best investment is to sit down one-to-one with an IDS American Express planner to work out a long-term financial plan so you can move on with confidence. Sit down with an IDS American Express planner. It could be the best investment you'll ever make.
It's here. The quick response and smooth performance of new Exxon Extra, our highest octane unleaded gasoline ever. Its extra boost of octane quiets the knocks, silences the pings for extra smooth performance. New Exxon Extra. Quality you can count on.
Wheel of Fortune, weekdays at 5:30 on TV2.
Every place I go, I find a Chicago Bull fan that wants to talk to the coach.
This is my first-round pick for next year.
I hope you play him.
He probably will, or else he wants to coach.
All right, let's start the second period here in Phoenix. Suns leading the Utah Jazz 27-16. I think I called him Salt Lake going into that last commercial. Frank Layden, Min and Green will try to climb back in this. Markey traveling, it'll go over to the Suns. And it's amazing, Kevin, how John McLeod and the Suns have come here to put enormous pressure on them in this game.
Great defense. Someone's going to have to bust out. Look for John Drew. He'll take some shots. He's got to get off. They're slowing the game down too much to Jazz. They got to pick up the tempo.
Adams. Another offensive rebound.
Pittman's played very well. He's aggressive on the boards. He's got good inside shots, and he's a high percentage shooter. He's doing a good job for Phoenix all year.
Held the glass. I mean, they look atrocious so far in this game. Westfall.
They'll need a timeout quickly. They can't let this game get out of hand. Frank Layden's just made a very good call to call a timeout. Probably get some of his starters back in the game because this game could get out of his hands right now. They got to start executing better.
You know about Murphy's Law. Whatever can go wrong, will. But you can worry a lot less about Murphy's Law when you own a Lawn Boy. There's no oil to change, no valves to go bad. There's less to go wrong.
Ready to cook?
And for years of mowing, the engine is designed to last 50% longer than most. So get yourself a Lawn Boy and help make sure whatever can go wrong won't.
I always take the train because I'm afraid of flying. Me, afraid? I take the train because it's the best way to enjoy light beer from Miller. Rolling through the Rockies and all across the Midwest, less filling. And it tastes great coast to coast. That's why I take the train, not because I'm scared of anything. Hey, what happened to the
Light
light?
beer from Miller. Everything you always wanted in a beer, and less.
Maybe I am a little afraid of the dark.
Experience Mazda.
Even from here, you know the Mazda 626 Sport Coupe is one high-performance road car. Inside, there's a 6-way adjustable driver's seat, 5-speed overdrive, and a serious cockpit. And while you may be impressed by its outstanding value, you'll be even more impressed by the front-wheel drive 626's outstanding performance. The more you look, the more you like.
The Mazda Experience.
Frank Layden's got to try something. John Drew, he got to hit everybody on that bench to see if they can turn things around here, Kevin.
He's going with Wilkins now. He's trying to get in the outside shooters. Someone's got to start making some shots. They've had 5 offensive rebounds, Phoenix, and scored 10 points off the 5, so they converted all 5 offensive rebounds to nothing for Utah.
I don't think the Jazz have even got a shot off yet this quarter. There, Drew, and that one was blocked. Sanders coming at him, and it was fouled. So at least they'll come to the free throw line and see if they can do something.
One thing about John Drew, he wasn't at practice today, but he'll take the ball to the basket. He takes it strong, looks to make contact. That was a good call by Kersey. He takes the ball a lot like Danny, looking to get fouled, not so much worried about making the basket.
Now, the reason he was not at practice, he was suffering from the flu, and he stayed home up in Salt Lake, and then he flew down later here this afternoon.
We talked to him, Brett, before the game, came into the game with him. He didn't feel like he was going to play tonight, but he's out there giving it a try.
Adams gives to Westfall. 31-16. We've got 10 minutes and 50 seconds to go here in the first half. Halftime, we'll show you that action from Milwaukee and the Nets as the Bucks wrap up their semifinal in the East. Green pumps it down, pressures Griffin inside, and that shot is blocked.
Here's Rickey Green, steals another pass. He's been the whole offense by doing it with defense. Passes it off. Griffith takes it strong, gets fouled. Again looking for the foul. From the weak side, trying to block the shot was Pittman, but he got all body. And it's a good thing that Utah does, Brent, to draw fouls. They look for the body, make contact, but they should make the foul shots now and then.
No one does that better than Adrian Dantley.
He's the best at it.
And they're going to need that shot from Dantley. They're going to need to get him on the free throw line here about 15 times if they're going to climb back and win this one. Pittman knocked away from Macy. That was Green who got a hand on it. Rickey Green, you're watching one of the quickest men in the NBA. Waved. Came out of Michigan. First round draft choice of the Golden State Warriors and was a failure there. Adams. Here he comes to the ball. Wilkins faces, misses. Sanders. One shot a trip when they get it. Pittman maneuvering. Short. Kelly rebounds. Here's Green. Rebound by Sanders. Off to Mason. Here's Adams. Westfall.
Westfall loves to go to his left. He can shoot the basketball, but Phoenix is getting back on defense, giving the Jazz no chance to execute their break.
Drew. Macy rebounds. Sanders had broken free, and Macy did not see him at the other end. Westfall again. Here's Adams. Hands it back to Paul. Shifts it through Adams and out of bounds. It'll go to the Jazz off Alvin's hand. Dantley back in.
Dantley's back in the game. They got their best scoring team on the floor right now, but they're having real difficulty generating a break. And give Phoenix the credit. They're not shooting the ball excellently, but they're getting back on defense every time.
Ball
exactly right, Brent. 3 people come in, converge on Dantley. Both officials had jump ball. He usually gets the foul on that play, but it was a good call, and you can't be 3 men. Someone's going to have to hit from the outside.
And now Griffith, by hitting that field goal, they are 1 for 4 this period from the floor. And it's 35-19. Pittman gets free. He's playing a strong game so far, coming off of McLeod's bench. Away from the ball.
Foul on Scott, away from the ball on Dantley. Pittman's a little too quick for Kelly. Kelly on the outside could not play Pittman. Down deep, he wouldn't have as much trouble. Pittman's got real quickness. Walter Davis back in the game. Westfall did a nice job while he was in the game, but now the real scorer is in Walter Davis.
Dantley, there's Adrian going into Scott's body as he squeezes the trigger.
That's Dantley at his best. Try to get his man up in the air, make contact himself while the player's up in the air, looking for the foul more so than looking for the basket. Here he is. Scott's up in the air, leans into him, takes the contact. He pays the price, Adrian Dantley, for the foul shots he gets, but he gets about a third of his points on foul shots.
And here is AD's ritual at the free throw line when he gets the basketball. Watch what he does with his right hand before he releases.
He does it every time too, Brent, and it's good to have consistency when you go to the foul line. The fans are putting up a count. You're only allowed to take 10 seconds when you shoot a foul shot. There's a little controversy that sometimes he takes 14, 15 seconds before he gets the shot off, so the fans are giving a count.
Pittman rebounds the miss, and Macy comes to the attack for the Suns. Davis. Green rebounds. Suns are a step quicker so far tonight, Kevin.
They've played much better. They've executed their offense so well. Jazz are having trouble getting a good shot.
Adams reached in and fouled Wilkins.
This is a big key now, Brent. That's the 15th foul for Phoenix after 4. We shoot fouls even off the ball shots. He'll get 2 shots, and the Jazz have no team fouls. This is a good time maybe for them to get back in the game because they'll go to the foul line an awful lot now.
Wilkins is 6'10", out of Illinois State. Which reminds me, I saw Doug Collins here tonight. He lives down in the Phoenix area. One of our CBS broadcasters, the former guard of the Philadelphia 76ers.
Wilkins has a very good touch for a big man. He can shoot the basketball.
So now they've got to dig in defensively and start to scratch and claw. Davis gets inside on Griffith and misses. Wilkins rebounds. Hits Green. Here's Griffith. Pittman rebound. Off to Davis. Wilkins push.
That was a good foul by Wilkins because Davis was going to go by him. He pushed him, and it's only the first team foul. No damage at all because I think Davis would have run right around Wilkins.
Macy, back to Adams. And an elbow was thrown that time as Adams put the ball on the floor. That's 2 quick fouls on Wilkins.
Very unusual thing that John McLeod has done so far. He's played Macy the whole time, and he usually substitutes more freely with his players, but Macy has gone just about the whole way.
Adams. Rebounded by Scott, sends it back off of Davis's hands. And that's a violation, of course. It'll go over now to the Jazz. Eaton returns. And Ken Wilkins will sit down on Frank Layden's bench. And we've got a timeout here in Phoenix. We've got 6:59 to go in the first half. And the Suns have dominated the game. And right now they lead the Jazz 37-22.
Giving that extra effort makes winners. The All You Can Be, sponsored by the U.S. Army. LA's Jamal Wilkes has played in the shadows of superstars throughout his career. At UCLA, Wilkes was outshined by Bill Walton, and during his Rookie of the Year season with Golden State, Rick Barry captured the spotlight. Today, Wilkes still sacrifices some headlines, but not the respect of his Laker teammates and opponents. His fluid style complements a fierce desire to excel, as Jamal Wilkes keeps striving to be the best he can be.
In today's Army, when artillery goes to the field, so does high technology.
Be all that you can be. Keep on reaching. Keep on growing.
Computers, laser-guided missiles, and teamwork honed to a split-second response. Only the Army gives you this kind of training with just a 2-year enlistment.
You can do it in the Army.
Saturday, he's a stuntman who's tried it all, but now he's going the limit. Robert Klein, Sally Field, I'm gonna hit, and Jan Michael Vincent. Burt Reynolds is Hooper.
"7'4" Mark Eaton out of Orange County, California, has checked back into the Jazz lineup. You know, it's sometimes relative when you look at all these big men in the NBA. But then when some of us who are a touch smaller go out there.
That's amazing. I've been around big people a long time because I've been in this game so long, but he's the biggest I've seen in the league.
Let's remind everybody that on Saturday, of course, we could have one of two combinations. If the Jazz come back and win, we would have the 7th game of this Western semifinal from the Salt Palace. Or if the Suns win, then we would open the Western Conference Final at the Forum in Los Angeles, 3:30 Eastern Time or 12:30 Pacific Time, as our coverage of the NBA playoffs continues here on CBS, which of course is the exclusive home of the championship series. So let's see what the Jazz can do now. They've got the Suns in foul trouble. If they can get to that line, they've only hit one field goal so far in the second period. Bailey sends it to Dantley. Scott watching AD. He's there if he wants it, sends it to Eaton. Turnaround left-hander, in and out, and right back to the big fella. Griffith goes up with a three-pointer. In and out. Both shots that trip.
Can't buy a shot, can't buy a basket.
Macy attacks for the Suns. Alvan Adams outside, Eaton coming at him.
Adams can make the outside jumper. He gives Eaton an awful lot of trouble because he also can drive to the basket very well.
Scott denying Dantley the ball that time. Now he is fronting him in low. They get in behind Scott. Dantley misses the layup. Knocked away. Loose. And it's Griffith. And nothing is going right for the Jazz here in the first half. Griffith maneuvers, throws it up. He's short. Loose, out of bounds. Jazz ball.
They can't buy a shot. They have one basket the whole quarter. Griffith has made a jump shot from about 18 feet. They can't put the ball in the basket. Unbelievable shooting percentage. They're going to have to just hang in and hope that they don't get blown out the way it's going right now.
Maurice Lucas returning for Phoenix. Another three-point try, and that one scores by Griffith, who has both their field goals. That one, the three-pointer, by the league's leader in that particular category. Layden has an interesting philosophy about the three-point play.
He likes him to shoot the three-pointer during the game, not wait to the end of the game, but he'll take it off down the stretch himself sometimes when they're really looking for a basket. But he's got carte blanche to shoot it anytime he wants.
Foul is on Eaton. Adams puts it on the floor, misses the layup, and it goes right back to him. Into Lucas. Here's Adams. Screen from Lucas.
Every time they get an offensive rebound, they convert. The other end, they get offensive rebounds. They can't put the ball in the basket, and we do still keep score, Brent.
Green brings it back outside. Now he goes into throw. Bailey, who misses, and here's Dantley. And he is fouled. He'll come to the line. Foul is on Adams.
Dantley's so strong. He went over Scott for the offensive rebound. He pays the price for just about every time he goes to the foul line, but he's got great strength. He's only about 6'5", but he's a tremendous offensive basketball player.
Nance about to return for the Suns. And Scott will sit down.
Outside of Edwards, Phoenix has their first team in the game, and they did a good job. The people off the bench did an excellent job. Pittman, Scott, coming in, Westfall, and Adams, and they're doing an excellent job. And here they are again getting on. Dantley can shoot the ball within 10 seconds. You wonder if they'll intimidate the officials, Brent. They could count to 25 the way they're doing it, and the officials will never call it.
Well, Hollick is over there joining him a little bit. Might be a fast count, I would suspect. Lucas. Tom Boswell, 33. He and Lucas collide. And Boswell's first foul. So the Suns will take the ball out of bounds. Still do not have the Jazz in the penalty. Lucas sends it to Davis. And they get a layup out of AD.
Frank Layden likes to use Boswell against Lucas because Boswell is as physical as Lucas, and they'll bump one another most of the time that Boswell's in the game.
Davis gets inside, sends it back out to Adams after the double team help. Macy runs it down. Here's Adams. Shot clock is at 4. Over Eaton and his outstretched arm, and Maurice Lucas crashes heavily to the floor, but he's up and he seems to be okay. Here's Eaton.
You have to watch Boswell and Lucas. They're going at it pretty good off the ball. John McLeod wants a timeout to make sure they settle down, to make sure they can keep the lead. They're in good control of the game. Boswell's complaining a little bit to the officials. Lucas is a very physical player, and Frank Layden likes to play him against Boswell all the time.
Once it was hard to find good-looking slacks to fit everybody just right. Then men's stores began selling Sansabelt slacks and Jamar slacks. 36,000 different sizes, fabrics, colors, and styles to fit any man better, including you. Sansabelt slacks, Jamar slacks from Jamar Ruby.
We bring air-conditioned comfort to millions of Americans every day.
Comfort's coming.
At work, at home, at play, people feel good with us around.
Comfort's coming.
Yeah, we're coming through for you.
Comfort's coming. Comfort's coming from Train.
Train Air Conditioning. 50 million people take comfort in it.
Today's cars do things yesterday's cars didn't.
Please fasten seatbelt.
Their smaller, higher revving engines can break down an oil's viscosity within 1,500 miles. The tests show Castrol suffers no significant breakdown of viscosity even after 5,000 miles. So listen to your car.
Exceeding recommended RPM.
It may be telling you something. Castrol, engineered for smaller cars.
He's the greatest scorer in basketball history, the captain of the Lakers, Kareem Abdul-Jabbar. The NBA playoffs follow the Magic on CBS Sports.
So, Kevin, the Suns have dominated this game. Can the Jazz get back in it?
They have to play better. They got to put the ball in the basket, but they're explosive. They got a chance.
Now, coming up at the half, Pat O'Brien is back in New York, and he'll have the highlights and some interviews. And, of course, tonight, Milwaukee eliminated the New Jersey Nets, and you'll see action from that game. And the NBA MVP, the winner is. We'll have a feature on that. You'll take a look at who the strong possibility is. And, of course, we'll have more on the Olympic boycott. We'll hear from some of the past basketball players who participated, and they'll tell you what it means to have the Soviet Union. And now the East Germans say they are going to stay away from the Los Angeles games. Here's Nance. Davis. Adams came up after he was fouled. Two fouls on Boswell.
The bench has done a great job for Phoenix. We said it before. They've scored 18 out of the last 20 points for Phoenix. Walter Davis has one layup, and that's a terrific lift when the guys coming off the bench can do that for you, particularly when you're at home.
One of the problems for John McLeod and the Sun coaching staff will be convincing the players at halftime not to relax too much.
Exactly right. They're playing so well, they have a tendency to let down. And if Utah can start making some of these shots, they can come back quickly. They have some explosive offensive players.
Dantley passing it beautifully to Griffith, and they just miss every shot. Lucas. Davis blocked by Eaton. Offensive rebound. Nance goes baseline, and Adams is fouled by Eaton.
Seems everything goes wrong when it starts. Every loose ball, every ball that tips a hand, Phoenix comes up and develops something for a basket or foul shot. Here's Nance to the ground, finds Adams, ends up with two foul shots. He's lying down on the ground and passes a nice pass to Adams. It just seems to go bad. Everything can happen, goes wrong sometimes.
Wilkins has replaced Eaton, who leaves with his second foul. 11 points for Adams off of McLeod's bench. Dantley. Suns. Nance. Cut off, and it's dead. The Jazz, 4 of 16 from the floor. Now they're 4 of 17. That time, score the field goal and bring Dantley to the line.
It took Dantley 3 layups to finally make this shot. And the one thing that Phoenix has done, they've made Utah play a half-court game, and they're not comfortable in this position. Here's Dantley for the first layup. How many times will he miss that shot? He gets it back on sheer hustle. The other side of the basket. Finally puts it in and gets fouled. Crowd counted to 12 that time. They'll get up to 15 before the night's over, and the officials still won't call.
Sanders puts it down on Dantley. Wilkins outside.
He can make that shot. He's a big man, but he's got a good touch. He makes the long jump shot very, very well.
Offensive foul. It'll go over to the Jazz, and James Edwards and Paul Westphal return for John McLeod.
McLeod still going with Macy all the way. He's done an excellent job directing this club, and that's an unusual type substitution for John, but it's really paid off.
Wilkins comes through with a little hook shot.
That's the first time tonight they've made back-to-back shots, Brent, and they need a couple of quick hoops before the halftime. Try to cut it to 10. They're only down 14. If they can cut it to 10, they got to be happy.
Lucas. Boswell. Lucas giving him a lot of room outside. Back to Boswell from Dantley. Lucas. Wilkins rebounds. Griffith ships it to Dantley and overthrows it.
Phoenix will hold it for the last shot right now. Here comes Bailey back in the game for Utah. Get the last shot of the quarter. We said it before. Macy may be on a two-man game with Edwards this time, but three-pointer or Westfall on the weak side. It's going to be Westfall.
Edwards has it knocked away, up in the air, run down by the Jazz. And Edwards reached and fouled him. That's his second here in the first half with 1 second left. And Wilkins will be at the free throw line, and of course at halftime we'll show you how the Milwaukee Bucks tonight eliminated the New Jersey Nets. That series went 6 games. Boston Celtics, they lead the New York Knicks 3 victories to 2. They'll play game 6 of their series tomorrow night. Hansen returns for Frank Layden's Jazz.
Brent, if Wilkins can make both foul shots and cut it to 12, Utah has to be delighted going off the floor down 12, because they could be down by 25 to 30 in this game. And explosive offense they have, they could come back in the second half because they've played as poorly as they're going to play. But you have to make the shots.
And we've come to the end of the first half with the Phoenix Suns dominating the Utah Jazz, and the Jazz must come back and win or their season will end here tonight. Pat O'Brien is coming up in just a moment.
Burger King presents a star.
Now that I'm a star, I can't always go to Burger King. So I spend a lot of time thinking about that juicy flame-broiled Whopper.
Tender beef coming through the fire.
Thinking about it.
Sizzling Whopper broiling just for you.
And thinking about it.
Aren't you hungry?
Your Whopper, Mr. Lewis.
Of course, being a star does have its advantages.
For Burger King now.
A day in the life of a Commodore 64. Commodore 64. Once you get it, you'll wonder how you got along without it.
You know, one of the best things about being an ex-big leaguer is getting freebies to the game. Call the front office, bingo. And once these fans recognize me, I probably won't even have to pay for my light beer from Miller. Down it! I love them. These fans know I drink light because it's less filling and it tastes great. Good seats, huh?
You're in the wrong seat, buddy. Come on.
Oh, I must be in the front row.
Come on.
Light beer from Miller. Everything you always wanted in a beer, and less.
Good seats, hey, buddy? He missed the tag! He missed the tag!
I just got a sporty truck priced like some base trucks. The Mazda B2000 SE5. Look, it comes standard with a 5-speed overdrive.
Steel-belted radials and spoker wheels, sporty stripes, a step bumper, even dual sport mirrors. Pretty sporty for just $59.95.
Sakes alive, sakes alive. Only Mazda's got a sporty truck for just $59.95.
Good evening, everybody, and for some of you, good morning. I'm Pat O'Brien, and once again, welcome to At the Half. Now, while you're enjoying Game 6 between the Suns and the Jazz, let's update you on what went on out here in the East. The fans in the Meadowlands, well, they didn't have such a good evening. The Milwaukee Bucks came into town, finished off the Nets and the series in a wild one, winning 98-97.
What Stan Albeck would always like to do is somehow get the ball inside to Darrell Dawkins. When it works, it's pretty, and it's hard to beat the Nets, who are up by 3 at the half. But in the fourth quarter, the game got ugly as Michael Ray Richardson got into it with Paul McKeskey, who is only 7 feet tall. Referee Hugh Evans seemed to be the only smart one in the area. He tackled Sugar Ray, and things finally settled down. But the Nets couldn't settle down as late in the game, the Bucks opened up a 6-point lead with plays like this. In the final seconds with a 1-point lead, the Bucks were forced to shoot. The Nets couldn't get the rebound, and after a scramble for the ball, the game ended, and so did the Nets season. It was a tough series that Bob Lanier was happy to finish.
I'm just glad it's over. It's been a drain, I think, on both sides, both physically and emotionally. Every game has been an absolute war.
We had an outstanding year. That's the way I'm going to look at it. We're going to try to build on this for next year.
But once again, we're just glad to be able to be in this position and just look forward to the next challenge.
So the Bucks advance to the Eastern Conference Final and will meet Boston and New York. That series is at 3-2 Boston. Out in the West, the Lakers are getting some rest as well. They've already wrapped up a spot in their conference final against Phoenix or Utah. And as you'll see in our playoff update, the Lakers out there are making things look pretty easy.
Nothing seemed easy for Dick Motta and his young franchise. The Dallas Mavericks were mere spectators as Kareem took the ball and went 60 feet for a slam. The Lakers are feeling the confidence Moses Malone had last year when he predicted...
We're ready to play anybody. Bring on the Harlem Globetrotters or whatever.
We feel that we can beat anybody if we play our game.
Meantime, the Knicks and the Celtics have been battling it out with words, fights, and, oh yes, basketball. The first 2 games in the Boston Garden belonged to the Celtics, who predicted they would shut down Bernard King, and indeed they did. But when this road show came back to Madison Square Garden, it was the Knicks who were inspired to show who could push who around. And Bernard King showed off his skills with 2 strong performances in games 3 and 4 to even the series. The Knicks had made the Celtics put their basketball where their mouths were.
The rivalry is still well and alive.
The New York press was calling it the War of the Words, but they might have sent their boxing writers to Boston for last night's card that accompanied the game. Round 6 is tomorrow night.
Well, it's getting really vicious out there. I think we're playing a brand of football right now which surpasses the USFL.
I think the bad blood will occur from, Friday. It might be a little evening up.
As far as that fight is concerned, there wasn't a knockout, but there could be a decision. Late today, we learned from the NBA that a decision is forthcoming about fines or suspensions, that to be made within a few days. Now, there's another more pleasant decision that writers and broadcasters have already made. The voting is in on this year's most valuable player. It'll be announced June 25th. And unlike the last couple of years, this year's selection wasn't easy.
First in Houston and then in Philadelphia, Moses Malone made it easy pickings 2 years in a row for the MVP voters in both the players and the writers' polls. This year, it's a different story.
I'll tell you, it's tough. I voted for Magic Johnson. Could just as easily have been Larry Bird. Could have been Bernard King.
Out west, there's Magic Johnson and Adrian Dantley. Back east, Larry Bird and Bernard King. And there are some who believe geography is a factor in the balloting.
I really don't get the recognition compared to those guys because they're the best place they can be as far as the media. New York, Boston, Chicago, L.A.
New York press are obviously want to reward Bernard, as Boston press want to reward Larry.
The leading candidate, Bernard King, has already been rewarded by the players as the most outstanding player, and the Knicks superstar was touched.
When it comes from your peers, I think that says a great deal, and I am indeed honored to feel that this year they think that I was the most valuable player. Bernard King, I think, is the best forward in the league, hands down. Especially when he plays against us. He's a great offensive player, he's a great defensive player, and he's the type of guy that gets it to you every minute he's on the court.
If anybody can challenge King for the honor, it is Bird himself. But where does Larry put his values? To the team or individual excellence?
If they're going to give it to the best player, then I think they ought to give it to Larry Bird just about every year. I voted for Bernard King. My criteria is that the player has to make everybody else better on a team. He has to excel at what he does best every game consistently.
Is the criteria in the MVP the best player in the whole NBA? Is it what he does for your own team? Those are the important things that we have to judge. And I don't think it's ever been clarified.
For now, Bird must make do with local awards. He's never been named MVP, and he's aware King has already one award up on him.
Well, that's all right. I understand that. Nothing really bothers me. The bottom line is to win a world championship.
And as we continue the NBA on CBS this weekend, we can guarantee you only two things. One, that Saturday you'll see Western Conference action beginning at 3:30 Eastern. Two, on Sunday you'll see Eastern Conference action beginning at 1 o'clock. Now, obviously, we don't know who is going to be playing, but we're ready. We've got wires and crews and trucks and cameras all over the country, from Milwaukee to Boston, Los Angeles to Salt Lake City. When we come back, the latest on the Olympic boycott story. That and more after a word from your local station.
Monday.
I wouldn't even know a good man if I ran over him.
Cagney's possible pregnancy forces her to make a gut-wrenching decision.
Well, why do I have to decide now? Because that's the way it is.
This is CBS.
You'll love the all-new Shrine Circus because there's so much there to enjoy. Sensational aerialists, world-renowned acrobats, juggling and balancing acts. We'll dazzle and delight you with giant but gentle performing elephants. There'll be animals galore, and you'll find the world's funniest clowns at the Shrine Circus. It's non-stop entertainment, and it's for everybody at your house.
The Shrine Circus, 8 exciting performances coming to the Civic Arena May 16th to the 20th. Tickets at Kaufman's, the Record Outlets, Gimbals, and Civic Arena Gate 1.
It's the Super Grand Olds Gang Hoedown. Grab your partner wherever you are. Head to your Olds dealer, it ain't far. He's got the Olds that's right for you, and he'll even let you drive it if you ask him to. In every Olds, there's a special feel, and if you act right now, there's a special deal. With values on the entire line, you save the most where you see this sign. So come on down, see the cars we've shown, and promenade or safely home in a new Olds from your Super Grand Olds Gang dealer.
It's noon.
I want it.
For lunch.
You want it? We got it. The lunch box with the deli double sandwich.
The deli double sandwich?
The price is a deal.
It's enough for a meal.
And the thirsty 2-ouncer.
Thirsty 2-ouncer?
It's big.
It's tall.
And at 49 cents, the price is small.
What else have you got?
That we might want. The keto burrito.
Olay.
Olay. And Hostess snacks and Frito-Lay chips.
They've got it.
We want it. You want it? We got it. We got it. We got it. We got it. The lunch box at AM, PM. AM, PM. You want it? We got it. At AM, PM.
Stephen King's Hot Stuff, Friday on Evening Magazine.
Our lead story today just might have been the annual NBA coin toss for the #1 pick in the draft. It was to be held today, but it's been postponed while the league office investigates possible tampering. Now, it was reported this week that Houston and Portland may have had illegal contact with Akeem Abdul-Olajuwon and Patrick Ewing. Olajuwon's coming out, Ewing is staying in school, but a hearing on the matter is scheduled for May 17th. Another story we've been following since late last night is the relocation of one of the NBA's leading coaches. Kansas City's Cotton Fitzsimmons is heading south to San Antonio, Texas to coach the Spurs, and he explains why.
This just transpired so quickly that I liked everything I saw in San Antonio. I liked their ball club. A lot of people say it's old, say that Artis Gilmore and George Gervin are too old to play, but I like what I see there, and I think maybe we can bounce right back on top next year.
Finally, we want to bring you up to date on this week's biggest story, the Soviet Union announcement that it is boycotting the Olympic Games in Los Angeles. The latest country to follow the Russians is East Germany, which announced today it will not send any athletes to the Games. Now, as far as basketball is concerned, the Soviets have not only denied their athletes the privilege to compete, They've also denied U.S. basketball fans the one game that seems to be the most thrilling, USA versus Russia.
Through the years, I'd go into the village and I'd go with the Russians, set in with them, or I'd go with the Yugs and set up with them, and I couldn't believe that they thought that we're not going to treat them right.
I think the Soviet athletes and Coach Gomelski in basketball want very much to come over. They don't think they could win, but they think there is a chance, and I can't believe they wouldn't want to be here.
In 1972, the U.S. basketball team suffered its only loss, but a member of that team believes it's not who you beat, but winning the gold that's important.
You know, we got cheated out of our gold medal in 1972, and I know if you talk to the Soviets right now today, in their mind they won that gold medal, and ours we won it. And I think that once you win it, no matter who you beat or whatever, it still stands as a world championship.
I think some of the players on the basketball team will be disappointed to not have that opportunity to play against the Soviets, but I think the most important thing is to realize you're playing for your country, and there's a great honor in doing that.
The United States and the Soviet Union, we have enough problems as it is already, and the only link that can put us together was sports. Now that's even taken away now, so we're getting further and further apart.
I know one thing, that the thing that we must keep in mind first is our country. Second is our neighbors. Let's learn to get along.
Some people have taken the cavalier attitude that if the Russians don't want to show up, who cares? Well, the athletes do, because when you are as competitive as an Olympian from any country, you want to win or lose against the best. Coming up, Brent Musburger and Kevin Lockery with the second half. I'm Pat O'Brien. Enjoy the second half here on CBS.
What does it take to excel? It takes speed, reliability, economy. It takes express mail next day service from the post office. We'll deliver your urgent packages overnight. And our 2-pound pack is just $9.35, about half what most others charge. So next time, use the service that delivers over 95,000 packages on time every day. Express mail service. We deliver excellence for less.
Return of American business. It's coming back smarter, more competitive. AT&T can help your business with smarter techniques to manage information.
Your region looks promising.
Distribution.
We can ship it to you without a layover.
All by tailoring the AT&T long-distance network to work for you in ways you never thought of. AT&T Communications.
Both neighbors just bought garage door openers. Ralph bought old-fashioned chain drive. But Herb got Genie Track Drive, the chainless opener. Herb's lucky. Track Drive really is the easiest to install and never needs grease or adjusting. Buy Track Drive and get a little help from me, or buy Chain Drive and go it alone. Track Drive, the easiest to install. Only Genie has it.
When I get the ball in the middle of a fast break, I'm just in seventh heaven.
I love to compete. I love to do the best I can. And I think playing against the best brings out the best in me.
I love the final 2 minutes of the game when everything is on the line. When I hit a last-second shot to win a game, it just feels so good.
NBA action. It's fantastic.
Here in Phoenix, the Utah Jazz trail in what could be Frank Layden's last game of this season, down by 13 points. You can imagine the enormous pressure starting to build up on this man, the coach of the year, what he had to say to his men. Folks, when he came back, he came over here and he wrote us a note. I don't know if anybody can read this. It says, say hello to the Bronx Zoo in Buffalo, New York, and Kelly's Bar in Brooklyn. Then it says, see you soon, too soon, Frank Layden. That's got to be the loosest man I've ever been around in my life.
Brent, that's why Utah can come back in this game. He's the type coach that can handle a tough situation when the team plays so poorly. It's on national TV. They're not on national TV a lot. And he can come back and say, hey, we're going to come back in this game.
Speaking of loose people, there's Hot Rod Hundley over there behind their huddle. He is the voice of the Utah Jazz. He's seated there at the table. Do you see Hot Rod there in the Jazz green? You'd think that was a Frank move there. That's it. Good. Thanks, Frank. You would think that Hot Rod went out and brought a brand new coat for the playoffs. Folks, that's a CBS-issued coat of about 10 years ago that
Hot Rod is kind of tight. They don't go for them bucks too often.
Oh, way to go, Rodney. All right. Now let's see if we can get some contact. What we need here more than anything else is some Jazz baskets and some action. Here comes Rickey Green to the attack. And Griffith sends it to Thurl Bailey. Nance is out on him. Green. And the lid stays on. Suns come down, and here's Davis. He's been the Suns' most valuable player here in the playoffs so far. Nance ships it right back to him and gets it back, and here's Edwards. The bounce.
That's the same basket Utah could not get a bounce in. Davis hits the first shot of the half just like he hit the first shot of the opening of the first quarter.
Eaton out high. Here's Griffith. Green sends it into Bailey. Sends it back to Dantley. Loose ball. Adrian gets it back. Comes up. Goes with the shot. Eaton.
Can't miss that one. You have to make that shot.
Especially when you're 7-4.
That's right. That's pretty high percentage.
He played water polo. Is that what someone said in high school?
As a goalie. He had to be a goalie.
Polo was a deep pool. Here's Davis. Griffith got a fingernail on it. Didn't matter. Put it down. Eaton. Griffith. Adrian got Lucas in the air, went on the drive and hit the shot. That's 16 now for AD. Davis brings it up against Griffith. Nance through Edwards and back to Davis and into Nance. Eaton comes in. No foul called. Shot clock is down at 3, and Lucas.
Every bounce is going Phoenix's way. Eaton came over, gave good help, blocked the shot. Phoenix gets the ball back for 2 points.
Phoenix sitting with a 15-point lead right now in Game 6 of this series. Griffith. And he's fouled. It's against Edwards, and now for Edwards, that's 3.
One thing Phoenix does extremely well, Brent, is that when one of their players score a basket on the offensive end, they come right back to him. They almost run the exact same play, and they'll milk it dry until he misses the shot. And they've done it 2 or 3 times with Davis. The last time Nance got a good shot, they'd come right back with the same play if they get a good shot.
That's the man they want handling it. They say he's so unselfish that he'll never keep it and take the shot. He'll always pass if he brings the ball down the floor. Edwards. Davis got it inside to Lucas. Bailey with the rebound. Off now to Griffith. The Jazz need a run. They have to put together 4 or 5 straight hoops. Goaltender. Score that one. It's against Edwards. Mason brings it up on Green. Edwards puts it on the floor, gets around Eaton.
As isolation by Edwards, Eaton cannot stay with him when they drive the ball to the basket. That they have to have help. The weak side people for Utah have to help him out.
Dantley. Green into Eaton with the left-handed hook. Pretty shot. Now Davis to the attack for Phoenix. Here's Edwards. Davis puts it down. Lucas. side. Nance rebounds. Here's Davis. Macy inside to Nance and back to Kyle.
Excellent execution the last 3 times down the floor by Phoenix. Got a wide open shot or a good shot every time, and that's how you win on good execution. They executing right now, Brent, much better than Utah is in a half-court game.
Green. And the call goes against the Suns underneath. And we're going to have a timeout here in the Coliseum. It's going to go against Lucas. That's his second foul. We've got 7 minutes and 31 seconds to go in the third.
There we were in no man's land when the moving truck died in the sun and the sand. So since it seemed we'd be a while, we set up house and we waited in style. And we waited, and we waited, and we waited. Now I know Ryder and some newer. They're tougher, they're strong, and driving a bargain sure didn't pay. So next time I'll think this way, it's Ryder or it's wrong.
Hey, Chicken's here.
Oh, you went there.
Ooh.
No, we deserve something better.
Yeah, you do.
You've got a right.
I've got a right.
The chicken done right. The taste it says with just one bite. It's the one and only Kentucky Fried Chicken. We got a right to chicken done right.
Nobody does chicken like we do with the Colonel's secret blend of 11 herbs and spices.
Kentucky Fried Chicken, they do chicken right.
Hey, there's only one thing better than success, and that's enjoying it.
Welcome to Miller Time. It's all yours and it's all mine. Bring your thirsty self right here. The rich, smooth taste of Miller beer. Miller beer is what you have in mind. Welcome to Miller Time.
Welcome to the rich, smooth taste of Miller High Life.
The NBA on CBS. Tonight's playoff game from Phoenix, Arizona is sponsored by Miller High Life. Welcome to Miller Time. Kentucky Fried Chicken. Kentucky Fried Chicken. We do chicken right. And by Ryder Truck Rental. When you move it yourself, it's Ryder or it's wrong.
And at the conclusion of the game, Kevin and I will select the Miller High Life Most Valuable Player of the game. In conjunction with the award, Miller will present a check for $1,000 to the Special Olympics in the player's name. Utah Jazz with possession, 7:29 to go, and they trail at 66-51 here in the third period. The Suns trying to earn a trip back to the Western Conference Finals against the Los Angeles Lakers. Griffith misses, Dantley rebounds. Eves checked in for the Jazz. He'll work in that backcourt with Griffith. Boswell returns. He'll take Lucas. Eaton still with Edwards. And here comes Boswell and Lucas pushing and shoving. And there's the foul called. It'll go against Tommy.
As Edwards with the ball, it's the pushing and shoving underneath Boswell. That's a good call by the officials to make sure the game doesn't get out of hand and stop it right now. They've been pushing the whole game. Make sure it doesn't get to be a situation where we have a fight.
It never fails. The one thing most people overlook about their cars is the belts. You see, after 4 years, they can go any time. And since today's belts don't show wear, even I can't always tell when just by looking. So if your car's over 4 years old, replace the belts and tell them you want gates. Now, they've been keeping engines cool for over 60 years, even longer than me. Remember, after 4 years, it's time for a change.
Kodak presents your other camera, Trim Print Instant Camera and Film.
First to snap it, trim, print, share it, trim, print, tear it and trim. The ones you like the best.
Trim prints are thin, you can cut, you can trim. And isn't that smart? Snap it, trim, print, share it, trim, print, tear it and
camera like no other camera, only from Kodak.
Since 1911, there's always been someone trying to outshine Simon Eyes. And trying, and trying. And today, Simon Eyes is as tough to beat as ever. Because today, there's Bodyguard from Simon Eyes. Its silicone formula makes it go on easy, yet it still leaves a brilliant, long-lasting finish. Can anything outshine Bodyguard car wax from Simon Eyes? We don't know, but we suppose someone will always keep trying.
Magic Johnson, a name synonymous with winning 2 NBA championships in 4 years and twice the playoff MVP. He's a prototype NBA player with the quickness and vision of a point guard, the ability to score inside and out, and the rebounding strength of a big man. Magic's the catalyst of the Laker attack, playing with the infectious enthusiasm that has made him a leader among champions. Now Magic and the Lakers have set out to regain the title. The NBA playoffs follow the Magic on CBS Sports.
And a reminder of what we got for you Saturday afternoon here on CBS. If the Jazz come back, we would have Game 7 of that series from Salt Lake. And if Phoenix holds on, then we'll open the Western Conference Final in the Forum. Magic Johnson and the Los Angeles Lakers. And there's a whole lot of folks around the league right now who will tell you they think the Lakers are ready to reclaim that championship regardless of who they meet from the East. But first, they'll have to get by the Sun or the Jazz here in the West. Macy to the attack for Phoenix, and Boswell again all over Lucas. Macy. Boswell. Griffith. Uses the big Eaton screen. Shot is short. Davis from the open floor. Nance is on the right. Griffith got back. Loose ball. Davis reclaims it. And that's the way it's gone tonight. That play was very symbolic. The kind of action we've seen here. Everything going Phoenix's way. Lucas puts it down. Block. Going over. And that's 3 fouls on Lucas.
You hit it on the nose, Brent. Every break is going Phoenix's way, and I'm surprised they didn't score off that one, too. They're picking up all loose balls. Every ball that's tipped, they pick up. And that's also, they're very aggressive, and Utah isn't.
Dantley spins. Eaves. .5:44 to go in the third. Davis. Dantley. Puts it back.
He's been the whole offensive show so far for Utah. He's at a great offensive rebound, the great hands. He went right around Lucas, but he missed the initial shot, but got the second shot for the 2 points.
Davis is restrained quickly by Mahalik.
This is Davis and Dantley. Davis actually bumps Dantley with an illegal pick right here. That's an illegal pick, so you can't blame Dantley. I don't think either player wants to fight, but that was really an illegal pick by Davis.
And again, away from the ball. And that is the second foul on Hansen.
We've had a few fights in the playoff, Brent, and the officials here tonight are going to call it tight from here on out.
offensive foul. That's 2 on AD. And here is Nance, who threw down that awesome dunk a moment ago. He traveled.
This is Davis going to his right. He prefers to go to the left. He misses the jumper. That's why Nance won the slam dunk contest this year in the NBA.
If emergencies never happened, you might never need a tire as good as Tiger Paw Plus with Royal Seal from Uniroyal. But you might. The reassuring protection of Uniroyal technology. Tiger Paw Plus with Royal Seal from Uniroyal. You may never need a tire this good.
Race after race, lap after lap. Bobby Allison's car kept on running to the National Stock Car Championship and a record for laps completed. He used the same Quaker State motor oil you can buy right off the shelf, refined from 100% Pennsylvania-grade crude.
I don't know if I'd have finished 98% of the laps without Quaker State's 100% Penn-grade protection.
Quaker State, America's favorite motor oil. Today, you need an oil this good.
Welcome to Miller Time.
At Miller High Life, time is everything. Beer drinkers come to us because we've been brewing in extra quality for the last 129 years. That's a lot of our time. But it's the reason you spend your time with us when you want the best beer you can find. Miller High Life.
Welcome to Miller Time.
And here in Phoenix, a few moments ago, is the Gorilla, making like Adrian Dantley at the free throw line. So here is AD. Going to need a lot more firepower than just his if the Jazz expect to get back in this. Eaves. Boswell ships inside. Dantley was fouled.
That was good execution by Utah. They got the ball down and deep to Dantley. Not many players would have caught that pass. It was thrown so hard by Boswell, but he's got great hands. He's tough around the basket for his size, and he's a great scorer down deep.
Now Adrian Dantley will get his chance to mimic the Gorilla.
He'll start counting as soon as he gets the ball.
He has scored 20 points here tonight. Incidentally, that foul was on Charles Pittman, his second. Even Adrian, he's finally starting to laugh about it. Hasn't affected him much at that line. Maybe they should be real quiet.
That's right.
Suns' passing has been extremely crisp here tonight against this Jazz defense. Davis missing. Boswell comes out. Bad pass there, and Macy comes right back to the attack. Eaves knocked the ball out of bounds. Eaves, like Griffith, played his college basketball at Louisville.
Paul Mahalik throwing someone out of the arena because they felt they threw the ball that went into the stands at Frank Layden, and I think Layden's telling the kid let him stay in the game.
And of course, in the last game, John McLeod was struck by a few candy cigars, I guess they handed out to honor the fact that Frank Layden had been selected as Coach of the Year. And both Layden and John McLeod said that that's terrible to have anybody throw anything in an arena. And And here we've had a fan, whether it was retaliation or not, throw the basketball in the direction of the Jazz coach. And he has been asked to leave. Davis spinning, wheeling to the hoop. Eaton comes off with a miss. Eves is a man loose. Again, a foot race with Macy. Pretty play by Eves. Good body control on that move.
That's the first time tonight Phoenix was not back defensively, and Utah took advantage of it.
And Eves may have tightened up in the right leg. Edwards and Dantley collide, and the foul goes against Dantley, his third. Eves is trying to loosen that leg up.
Whenever Phoenix needs a basket, they just isolate Edwards against Eaton on the outside, and he drives right to the right every single time. They shouldn't make him go left.
Strange game in that one team has outplayed the other one from beginning to end, yet the score really does not reflect that kind of a blowout. The Jazz can put together any kind of a run here in this game and play some defense. They'll find themselves right back in it. Here's Eves. Eaton. Hansen. Ships it to Dantley. Rejected by Nance. Macy in the middle. Pittman. Davis to Nance. Back to Edwards and off his hand, and he gets it back. Eaton to the rebound. You know, they're not even looking outlet down there. That time they had a man. They had Hansen breaking. Eaton could have ignited the break. John Drew is going to try it again for the Jazz. He'll check in soon. Dantley maneuvering inside, comes up, rejected by Macy. No foul. And that was the shot clock finally going off. So on that 24-second violation, John Drew will check in for the Jazz. And Alvan Adams returns for the Phoenix Suns. Adams played very well in the first half.
That's the first time Kyle Macy will go to the bench right now. Rod Forster's going to come in as a substitute. They're leaving Macy in. Forster's checking in. They wouldn't let him in the game. But Macy's done a great job directing the club for Phoenix, and I've never seen him play for such long stretches in a game.
So it'll be Drew Thurl Bailey at the forwards right now for the Jazz. Offensive foul. And on that turnover, it'll go to the Jazz. That is the third foul now against Walter Davis. Drew. Hansen. Off Nance's foot.
If Hansen's going to play in the game, he has to take the outside shot. That's why Frank Layden has him in the game. He's turned down 2 or 3 outside jumpers. He must take the jump shot.
Westfall replaces Davis, who will get a breather. Eves. And again, the 24-second clock expires without the Jazz getting a shot.
That's twice in a row down the floor. You can't have that. At least get a shot at the basket. If you miss it, you miss it, but get a shot.
Lob pass to Nance and a miss. And Nance was fouled.
That would be a 2-shot foul because he had control of the ball with both hands. If he was trying to tap it, there would have been a no foul shot, but he had control.
And the young leaper out of Clemson steps to the free throw line.
He's become an excellent basketball player. He can play the big forward, the small forward. He's a good defender. Works hard. He's a great player for the Phoenix Suns right now.
Eves brings it up on Rod Foster, who is seeing his first action. Rod, the rookie from UCLA. Hansen's three-point try on its way, and he's got it.
Shoot the ball. That's what Frank's got him in the game. Take the three-point play. Try to ignite the offense a little bit. Don't turn down jumpers. Hansen can't afford to.
Jazz defense tested. Westfall penetrates, and there was a foul. And that foul is against Hansen.
Hansen's not really quick. He has a little struggle defensively. He can shoot the jumper. He was a very good college player at Iowa. But Westfall is a little too tricky from the old veteran. And it seems when they have a play, who committed the foul, it always goes to the veteran over the rookie.
They come up against the pressure with ease. Drew puts it down, and he was fouled. And that's number 1 on Foster.
Foster is first. 1 team foul. First is the last 2 minutes.
The absence of Rickey Green in this game for Utah has really hurt their club. He hasn't contributed tonight. He hasn't played a whole lot. And he's really, I think, probably the most important player they have on the club outside of Dantley. And he just hasn't got into the flow of the game, and he hasn't played a whole lot tonight.
And there's Rickey on the bench.
Frank Layden many times has said he feels he might be the most valuable player, even with Dantley.
Westfall. Adams rebounds. Bad pass. Hansen on the intercept. Hansen's rejected by Nance. Westfall. Last shot time here in the third. Westfall. Suns ball with 5 seconds left.
Again, the bounces. Everybody for Utah is running out. No one stopped to pick up the basketball. 5 seconds left. Phoenix has plenty of time to get off his shot.
And we've come to the end of the third quarter. Phoenix still in command. And we'll return to Veterans Coliseum with our fourth quarter action after these messages from your local station.
Saturday, the PGA Tour visits Texas, where some of the world's top players will match strokes and strategy at the Byron Nelson Golf Classic, starting Saturday on CBS Sports. This is CBS.
Because of the grisly subject matter presented in the motion picture, Night of the Zombies. No person under 17 years of age will be allowed in the theater unless they are accompanied by a parent or certified adult guardian. Night of the Zombies will be shown in its uncut version, and certain scenes may be quite shocking to some people. Again, we repeat, no one under 17 years of age will be admitted to Night of the Zombies unless they are accompanied by a parent or certified adult guardian.
Starts Friday.
Pulsar Quartz makes fashion affordable. All kinds of fashion. Pulsar makes diamonds dazzlingly affordable. Pulsar for parties, beautifully affordable. Pulsar for play, surprisingly affordable. Pulsar for gifts that warm the heart. Pulsar, the elegance of a fine quartz watch, but not the price.
Available at Gimbel's fine jewelry departments, all stores.
Springtime on the road, and the birds are back. Sunbirds. Firebirds. Two of Pontiac's most exciting cars, and your Greater Pittsburgh Pontiac dealers have the birds that make springtime a great time to buy. Sporty new front-wheel drive Pontiac 2000 Sunbirds, sticker price just $66.67. Legendary new high-performance Firebirds, just $83.39. No matter which bird you choose, you'll start the season flying at your Greater Pittsburgh Pontiac dealers.
This is KDKA TV2, Pittsburgh.
The raw talent of Larry Nance has been on display here tonight.
He's got great jumping ability and a great block, and he also keeps it in bounds, which is very key, so they can go out on a break. Great block. He's a great leaper, and he's turned into an excellent player for Phoenix.
The Utah Jazz with their last 12 minutes to make up what is now a 15-point deficit as we start the final period here in Phoenix. And the Suns are just 12 minutes away from Magic Johnson and the Los Angeles Lakers. You know, one thing about that period, Kevin, Phoenix hit only one of their last 9 shots, but the Jazz couldn't take advantage of it, and that hurt them badly.
They really had every opportunity to get back in this game, and they still have plenty of time, but they can't make 2 or 3 shots in a row. It's hurt them.
And here's another mistake, and let's see what they do with it. Dantley. He was bumped by Pittman.
It seems the whole offense is generated to Dantley. They have to get a couple other people in the game. Rickey Green looks like he's having a problem with his right wrist, and maybe that's why he hasn't played as much tonight as normal.
Foster taking Green right now. Westfall with Griffith. They get it into Wilkins. And so the Jazz take advantage of that turnover at the other end. Now they cut down to 13. You want to get inside of 10 as quickly as you can here, so that you got a workable number. Westfall. And as he rose up on Griffith, he was fouled. And Westfall will come to the free throw line. That is 3 on Griffith.
Utah does do a little trapping defensively, and we might see that shortly. They have to try to get Phoenix out of their offense in the offensive end. They're executing too well. They might have to go to a trap, a little defensive pressure, double team the ball a little bit, try to shake it up some.
They got nothing to lose.
Exactly right. They're not stopping Utah. Utah's not stopping Phoenix once they set up. They're getting good opportunities, getting to the foul line. Trap them, double team a little bit, try to go really hard on the fast break to open this game, to give them a chance to open this game and get in it.
Bailey. Foster is on Green. Dantley gets it to Wilkins. Misses, taps back, loose. Hit by Phoenix. And Nance goes down. Rickey Green. And the ball is going to go over to the Jazz.
John McLeod's upset. He felt Nance got fouled on the play. Nance showed great skills athletically to go after that ball, but they gave the ball back to Utah.
Here's Dantley. Green. Nance. Came right around throw Bailey and powered that shot.
When my dad ran this business, he never came home until after we were in bed. Inventory one night, payroll the next. So I got an Epson personal computer to help me run things. Only Epson has this keyboard with keys in English, not computerese. One button gives me my schedule, draws a graph. In fact, the Epson runs more programs than an IBM PC. My Epson does a lot of things, and it does them easily. But what it does best is let me go home.
When I warm up before a game, I use Ben Gay.
Professionals like Larry Bird use Ben Gay not only after exercise, but to help warm up before. Does Ben Gay really help? Yes. Warming up plus Ben Gay helps you get ready for action. Helps you loosen and tone muscles so you can run more comfortably, longer, to help you do your best. So whenever you're planning to exercise, use Ben Gay after and Ben Gay before.
Feel better with Ben Gay.
In Milwaukee, a new era has begun. The new Harley-Davidson company is living up to its name.
Have given Harley a new image and made their motorcycles more interesting to those who now ride the machines.
Harley achieved this modernization, sacrificing none of the unique character. As oil-tight as a thermos. More power at every engine.
A Harley does something that no other motorcycle does. If you want to find out for yourself, go ride one.
The new Harleys. Ride one.
And the way it's going, it looks like we'll open up the Western Conference Finals Saturday afternoon at 3:30 Eastern Time with these Phoenix Suns taking on the Los Angeles Lakers. Should Utah rally, of course, then we will have Game 7.
Larry Nance coming in on a slam dunk. He's got 13 points tonight, held scoreless last game. He is a big key to this club, and when he plays well, it seems they win all the time.
Much different Phoenix team than I can remember from a couple of years ago, Kevin.
They're more physical. They made a move to go more physical. It didn't seem to pay off all year, but the playoffs are a more physical type game, and it's definitely paid off for them in the playoffs so far.
John McLeod's got some good depth on that bench. Rich Kelly now in for the Jazz. Eaton has returned. 9 minutes and 30 seconds left here. Foster. Westfall. Gives it back to Rod. Eaton has it knocked away, and foul is called against Alvan Adams. And that's his third.
I look for Griffith to take a three-point play shortly and try to get 8. He might do it right now off this play. No, he's looking for Dantley.
Dantley goes to work. Missing. Even Nance wanted to clear out the way Pittman was coming down with those elbows.
Pittman's done an excellent job so far in this game.
And as Pittman put it down on the floor, he was fouled. Macy returning for Phoenix. And so too is the Greyhound. Here comes their MVP, Walter Davis. Nance. Here's Green. Dantley tonight is 8 of 21. To Davis, and Dantley foul Walter. That's 4 fouls on Adrian Dantley. Nance ships to Davis. And there was a offensive foul call against Phoenix, and that is the 4th against Adams. Hansen. Misfiring. Lucas. Outlet to Nance, and here it comes again. Just
Great play by Larry Nance, but the one thing in this game, Brent, the defense for Phoenix has been sensational to hold the Jazz to 69 points up to this part of the game with 8 minutes left. That has been the difference. They cannot, Utah, get a real good shot. Hardly ever coming down the floor do they get a good shot.
And now the Suns have started to apply some pressure. Lead it by 22, and that is the biggest margin of the game so far. Eaton, Griffith. And a foul called as Griffith came toward the basket. Lucas down to the floor, his fourth personal. We get word, Kevin, on that one-point victory by Milwaukee back east. The New Jersey Nets have officially protested the game. It has something to do with the 24-second shot clock and the end of the game.
Brent, through the regular season, you have 48 hours to protest the game even after the game is over. But naturally, playoffs, they have to make a decision immediately because there would have been a game Saturday. So they'll have to come out with a decision immediately on that tomorrow.
Adams. Davis. Knocked away by Eaton. Sent back to Lucas. Jazz and Kelly in a collision here with Walter Davis. Back to Kelly, and as Davis got up on the floor, he was right there. Macy trying to run it down. Rickey Green showed us his great quickness there and getting out of the way when Macy was coming toward him. Saturday afternoon at 3:30 Eastern Time, we would be bringing you Game 1 of the Western Conference Final, the Phoenix Suns against the Los Angeles Lakers from the Forum in Los Angeles. And, of course, if the Jazz come back, we would have Game 7 of this series out of Salt Lake. And right now, Kevin, it looks as though we're going to be opening that Western Conference Final. The Jazz just cannot seem to get their act together. And then, of course, on Sunday afternoon, we will have more NBA action for you. We would have either Game 7 of the Knicks against the Boston Celtics, or we would open up the Eastern Final, and that, of course, would have to be Milwaukee at the Boston Garden. 1 p.m. Eastern Time. So a lot of action coming up your way, and John McLeod has done his usual outstanding coaching job down here with the Suns. Hansen. Kelly. 6:55. Adams. Loose, and guess who?
The story of the game. Every loose ball Phoenix has gotten. The Jazz are just not sharp tonight in such a big game. It's a shame.
Davis spinning. Got Hansen up in the air. Three-point shot.
Walter Davis is way too quick for Hansen. The problem all year for the Jazz is that a good big guard they cannot stop. Griffith is not a good defender. Hansen is not a good defender. And Davis is one of the most explosive offensive guards you have in the league, and he's 6'6".
Denerex versus Selsun Blue.
This side here, I've got a tingling sensation on my scalp. Feels good. On this side, there's not much any sensation. It's just kind of there.
Look what you used.
Denerex. Feels good. This is the side that was tingling.
Each shampoo has one medicine for dandruff. Only Denerex adds extra anti-itch medicine many dermatologists recommend.
The tingling felt like, hey, it's happening now. Selsun Blue's lost a customer. I'm a Denerex man.
Denerex shampoo or shampoo and conditioner fights dandruff and its itch.
I started delivering beer in 1893. At the time, Milwaukee was teaching America how to really brew a quality beer. Well, guess what? Times haven't changed all that much.
This is today's Milwaukee's best, with a smooth old-time taste, old-time quality, and a real fair old-time price. Milwaukee's best. It's one of the best deals I've seen around here since 1893?
Introducing Milwaukee's best. Old-time quality at an old-time price.
There he is, the architect, and the man who has made this a winning franchise down here under the leadership of General Manager Jerry Colangelo has been the man he hired as coach, John McLeod. Take a look at him, folks. In college, he was a pretty good boxer. Got to be careful if you challenge him.
I sure do. He is a total class guy. He really is. And I think this is the best coaching job he's done because he was not happy with the season they have had. And he put the team together to start playing great basketball towards the end of the season. He inserted Macy back in the lineup and has almost gone with him 40 minutes a night. I think he's done a sensational job, obviously, in the playoffs, and his defensive scheme in this game has totally been the biggest difference. The Jazz could not get good penetration, could not get a good shot. He's done an excellent job.
Kind of a shame that Frank Layden's season has to end on a note like this. It's been so upbeat, and they helped turn that franchise around up in Salt Lake. The fans have responded, and really, we didn't get an opportunity to touch on it tonight, but Layden has done a great job in rehabilitating a couple of problem cases. I'll mention them, John Drew and Tom Boswell's. Kind of a second chance, and they've come through for the Jazz, and it's nice to see, and Layden is directly responsible. He's a marvelous human being. Griffith's three-pointer is good, on the money. And the Jazz will have 6 minutes in which to work with right now. And they are really climbing uphill, as they have been all night long. Utah's great basketball country. You know that, Kevin?
Excellent.
Always
Brigham
loved their
Young,
college.
the biggest colleges, the university up there, they support basketball.
Kelly comes down with it. Outlet goes to Griffith. Dantley was on the other side. Griffith. In and out, and it has been like that.
Not much you can do. They get good shots. They miss it by the best shooters. Just not their night.
Into Nance, who's played powerfully tonight. Lucas has two, and Alvan Adams off the bench. And how about that for ball movement?
Great execution. Lucas, for a big man, a big forward, can pass the basketball. He's proven it several times tonight. He got good vision.
Well, this year the Suns will have Edwards to go against Kareem Abdul-Jabbar. Dantley coming inside drew the foul. In the past, they've had to go with Alvan Adams, and of course he tries to get Kareem outside, but he's simply no match in terms of size underneath and inside against the big fella.
I believe, Brent, that Phoenix is the best club to play LA because you have to get LA in a half-court game. If you're going to try to run up and down the floor with them, with Magic handling the basketball, you're in serious trouble. I think Phoenix is the best representative to play LA, except they're going to be at a tremendous disadvantage if they win the other night against them Saturday. LA win.
I read that Jamal Wilkes played 16 minutes, I believe it was, in that wrap-up game against the Dallas Mavericks, so he's getting back into shape. You know, we have proved here conclusively that a whole lot of folks in Phoenix can count to 12.
Good school system in Phoenix, bro.
Edwards out there to pick, and Macy finally comes around, and Griffith was right there with him and in and out. Foul's going to go against Phoenix. This is the point in the game where I think the refs feel sorry for the Jazz. Everything's liable to go against Phoenix now. From the field, Utah is 30 of 70, 43% is all they've shot here tonight so far. Now the Suns come down. Edwards. Lucas. Kelly and Lucas battle for it. And the foul's on Kelly. Loose ball foul.
The big difference are Green, 15-9, Drew, 11-1, and they have a total of 3 points. Utah could not beat Phoenix with that type of scoring out of two great players.
Giving up 24 points right there.
You can't do it. And what Phoenix has done very well, they've isolated their big men who are quicker than a Kelly and an Eaton, like Lucas, Nance, and Edwards against the other big people of Utah, and really have capitalized on it.
Deflected by Nance. Goes to save it. Does to Davis. Back to Nance, and he's hit by Eaton.
That's two pretty good athletes. Walter Davis and Larry Nance, two players out of the ACC. Great athletic ability by a 6'10" man to save it in here. Davis is trying to put a little showtime on it for the dunk, but Eaton came over and hung in there. Was a foul. 2 shots for Nance.
.413, and Thurl Bailey, as you probably noticed, check back in here. As the countdown to Los Angeles begins here in Phoenix. Here's Walter Davis. He'll cause a problem for the Lakers.
He's got good size to go against Magic, and Magic will have to play him. He can score and give Magic an awful lot of trouble.
That'd be a great matchup, Kevin.
It sure will. Two great players. They really can go hard at one another.
There's Walter with the steal right there.
We'll give it to Lucas. Brent, you said before, he's very, very unselfish. He could have went in on that play and at least drawn the foul, but he's seen Lucas. There's no doubt in my mind that he would give him the ball. That's what makes him just such a good team player. Steals here, down the middle. He knows Lucas is on the wing right here. He could have taken him strong himself on a little jumper. That's what makes Phoenix a very good club right now. Very unselfish club.
Game 6 between the Jazz and the Suns will continue after this message and a word from your local stations.
There's more for your life.
Last year, while you were deciding which home computer to take home, Sears bolted on more than 1 million mufflers. While you were trying on the latest Gulagong activewear, Sears sold over 9 million tires. And while you were checking out Sears' open home collection, we replaced more batteries than anyone else in America. So next time you drive over to Sears, drive right in. We install confidence.
There's more for your life at Sears.
This is CBS.
This Olympic winning moment is brought to you by 84 Lumber and Home Center.
1932 Los Angeles, an American duel, East versus West. The University of Pennsylvania's Bill Carr against Stanford's Ben Eastman at 400 meters. Carr takes the lead and gets the gold. An auto accident ends his career 8 months later. But for Carr on this day, it's an Olympic winning moment.
You know, 12 million customers bought at 84 Lumber last year. Why, we've sold enough roofing shingles to go around the world 4 times. And why? Because 84 Lumber has the same one low price for everyone. Builders, remodelers, do-it-yourselfers. So, come in and see one of us today. Bring in your plans, sketches, ideas. I know we can help you make your project become real.
Stephen King's Hot Stuff, Friday on Evening Magazine.
I think he's getting ready for L.A. Speaking about some of the matchups, they probably would use Cooper on Davis.
I think they'd use Cooper against Davis defensively, put Magic on Nance, because Magic's so versatile. He can do so many things with his size, and good matchups.
Then Lucas, he'll wear out a couple of fellas, but they've always got Worthy over there.
Worthy coming off the bench, and you have the big fella going against Edwards and Adams and Kareem. And you got very good matchups.
3:26 left here. And the season continues to wind down now for the Utah Jazz.
Davis. No, offense is the call.
You probably see John McLeod going to the bench shortly. The game's 3:09 left. You don't want any of your starters to get hurt, and particularly when you have a game coming up so quickly.
They will get 1 day rest, and then they must be in the Forum in Los Angeles, and that's not much preparation time for the Lakers.
That's a big disadvantage for Phoenix right now. Lakers have had time to prepare, rested, and they got to go in here Saturday afternoon and play a team like the Lakers. I think it's a tremendous disadvantage for Phoenix.
Shot clock is at 2. Eaves. Griffith. Three-pointer. Edwards. Nance. And so now, checking in for the Jazz, Mitchell Anderson, number 11. And John McLeod, just as you expected, Kevin, he has cleared his bench.
Well, there's no sense leaving the players in there. You got a game Saturday afternoon. Don't take a chance. Have somebody get hurt foolishly towards the end of the game. It's the first time we'll see Roby came in for Lucas. Lucas has had an excellent series.
Foster inbounds. Sanders gave him some strong minutes in the first half.
Their whole bench performed excellently. I think that was the difference in the game. Their bench against Utah's bench. Against the Lakers, though, you're going to see an excellent bench and guys like McAdoo, Worthy coming off the bench for the Lakers.
Eaves.
Frank Layden's had an excellent year, though, Brent. He's done a terrific job, Coach of the Year, and deserved it.
There's Roby. Three-pointer by Hansen, who's short. And now they're making the announcement here that tickets for the Western Conference Final are on sale. They will play the first two games of that series, of course, in the Forum. Saturday afternoon and Tuesday night. Then we will be back down here in Phoenix next Friday night for Game 3, and a week from Sunday for Game 4. So 3 of the first 4 games of that series will be televised live by CBS. Anderson.
Mitchell Anderson.
6 men for the Suns are in double figures, Kevin.
They had great ball movement, execution, good defense. Everything went right for them tonight. It's hard to believe they got blown out last time in Utah, but that's NBA basketball. You have to play well in big games on the road, and Utah did not play very well in any phase of the game at all tonight.
And Frank Layden is over at the Phoenix bench right now, congratulating Walter Davis. Frank Layden is working his way through all the players. Kyle Macy, he goes down. And there he is, right in the middle, with John McLeod right behind him. And the Phoenix Suns, in 6 games, have eliminated the Utah Jazz. 102-82 was the final here. And, of course, that means that the Los Angeles Lakers now will be taking on these Suns next for the Western Conference Championship. A disheartening night for the Jazz, but overall a very upbeat season. And we will continue with our coverage from Phoenix in just a moment.
When IBM personal computer owners look for good software, where can they turn? To IBM for programs that help you keep up with modern times. Business programs, entertainment, productivity, education, and more. The variety you want with the quality you expect in the growing library of IBM personal computer software. A well-balanced selection at a store near you.
High-performance photography lets you capture the nightlife. The Minolta X700. From computer program where you set nothing, even in flash, to creative manual where you control everything. It stops the action in any light at 3.5 frames a second. The Minolta X700. The only camera ever voted Camera of the Year on 2 continents.
Only from the mind of Minolta.
In every Olympic event, there are moments to hold forever. Forever in steps. Feel the power of the pounding hearts. Forever in steps. Yours is the magic to hold. Share the triumph, share the goal. Forever in steps.
Now I've entered all 24 events, Dad.
Capture all the memories in this historic stamp collection at the post office.
He's the greatest scorer in basketball history, the captain of the Lakers, Kareem Abdul-Jabbar. The NBA playoffs follow the Magic on CBS Sports.
We are back here in Phoenix, and of course, no surprise, our Miller most valuable player of the game is the magnificent Walter Davis. Again, in this game, he was the team leader for the Suns. He scored those 20 points, one of 6 men in double figures, and he spread everybody out on the floor. He passed off so well throughout the game, and of course, a check for $1,000 in Walter's game will go to the Special Olympics on behalf of Miller. Now, let's see if we can get back and fill you in with some more details on what happened at the end of the Milwaukee game against the Nets. Remember now, the Bucks win it by 1, and there's a shot clock situation in that game, and what the Nets say, they have discovered a videotape which shows more seconds left. The shot clock should have gone off, Kevin?
Exactly right, Brett. They say they had the clock had run out, and it should have been a 24-second violation. But I think the decision will be made that it's an official's judgment. And when you have an official's judgment, I don't think you can have a protest.
Coach John McLeod has joined Kevin and me here. Coach, congratulations.
Well, thanks. I'll tell you, it was a heck of a contest. It was a great series. We were really concerned about this ball game, Brent, because of the way that Utah had played Tuesday night. They shot the ball awfully well and just ran us right out of the gym. So we're really pleased with tonight.
John, Kevin had said during the broadcast that he really thought this was your best coaching job because you weren't that happy with how things were going during the regular season.
Well, you know, Brent, we had a situation that Kevin is familiar with. We were very up and down. We were inconsistent. I think the most number of games we were able to win all year long was 6, and those happened to be the last 6 games in a row. So we really struggled to make it to 500, and maybe this has made the season worthwhile.
You know, I hate to bring this up, but you haven't got much time before Magic and those big fellas get ready in L.A.
Brent, I'll tell you right now, I don't care. I wouldn't mind if we played tomorrow night instead of Saturday at noon.
John, how did you make out with Los Angeles during the year?
I think we finished 3-3. However, in one of those games early in the year, I think in December, Magic did not play. And in the final game of the season, Brent, at Los Angeles, I don't think any of their starters played the last 3 quarters. So we did play 3-3, but LA is a tremendous team, very well coached with a lot of juice on their ball club.
Kevin?
John, your defense tonight was sensational. Did you make any major changes for this game from the last game?
Kevin, the one thing we tried to do tonight is not to double team so much and expose ourselves, because Frank Layden I thought had done a great job of adjusting to the double team. He was cutting guards to the basket, and we were leaving people open. So tonight we tried to play more of a straight-up defense with a lot of sagging and a lot of helping, and not so much of a double team where they could expose the double team.
It was a sensational job. Good job by winning this game so convincingly.
Well, Kevin, it was a great win for us. We didn't shoot the ball in games 4 and games 5. and give Utah's defense credit because they're really quick. But tonight we were able to shoot it well. I didn't think we handled it well at times, but we won it, and we're sure as heck happy.
John, we look forward to seeing you Saturday afternoon in the Forum, and we're going to come back and talk with your Walter Davis, and we'll do that here in Phoenix in just a moment.
All right, Brian, I didn't forget.
Nearly 4 hours. That's how long it took us to paint this room with a roller. Then we painted it in less than 1 hour with the new Wagner Power Roller. A living room that took nearly 7 hours. The Wagner Power Roller finished in less than 3. The Power Roller pumps paint straight from the can to the roller or to any of several optional accessories. Why waste your time painting a pan when you could be painting your walls instead? The Wagner Power Roller, the right tool for painting.
When I started delivering beer back in 1893, the supermarket was a blacksmith shop. Well, those days are gone. But maybe not entirely.
You see this? Today's Milwaukee's best. It's got a smooth, old-time taste, old-time quality, and a real fair, old-time price. Milwaukee's best. It's just the kind of deal that his great-great-granddaddy would have loved.
Introducing Milwaukee's best. Old-time quality at an old-time price.
Do you have anything in aviation?
The Army's most technical training
Are there any openings in communications?
is also the Army's most popular training.
I'd really like computers.
So it pays to have a reservation.
Electronics.
If you qualify, you can get a guaranteed reservation for the training you want up to 12 months in advance, even if you're still in high school.
All that you can be.
We'll see you after graduation.
You can do it great in the army.
Thank you. Congratulations.
Phoenix eliminates Utah. They beat them by 20 points, and here's the man who was the most valuable player. Walter Davis with 20 points, 6 assists, 3 steals, and he even had time to yank down a couple of rebounds. Walter, nice job here tonight against the Jazz.
Thank you very much, Brent.
How about this Suns team? What turned it around? You didn't have a good regular season, and now suddenly you're a power in the playoffs.
Well, I think we got over our injuries, and we got a set lineup, and everybody started playing more together, and it just came together for us, and got 100% effort from all 12 guys.
What was the key tonight? You really dominated the Jazz. What did you learn in the first 5 games that made this at least appear so easy?
Well, we figured we could score on them anytime we wanted to. The key was to stop them. We knew they were going to go to Adrian Dantley, and we just wanted to try as hard as we could to pressure him and just disrupt their offense. And once they missed, get the rebound and run on the other end. We thought we were faster than them.
How about the Los Angeles Lakers now?
Well, they're a great team. They're defending Western Conference champions, and it's going to be a good series. We split with them this year, and I'm looking forward to playing them.
Kevin?
Walter, will you be matched up, you feel, against Magic, or have you played them most of the season?
Well, I don't know what their lineup is going to be since Byron Scott's been out. I may be on Magic, I may be on Cooper. Their lineup is so difficult to match up with, so you never can tell. Once they get fast breaking, I may be on Kareem.
Walter, good luck on Saturday.
Okay,
congratulations. We're going to come back and talk to one of the big men, the enforcer on the Suns team, Maurice Lucas, and we'll do that in just a moment.
You think I'm tough? This is tough. TR3 ain't no wax. Man, this stuff is something else. TR3 goes on easy, stays on hard. Makes your car beautiful. Like me. TR3 fights off the enemies like dirt, sun, and grime. You want tough? This is tough. TR3. Take it from me, Mr. T.
You're up bright and early.
You bet. Say, this Armor All really makes our van look like new.
The Armor All Twin Pack is a Best Buy, priced at just $4.39.
And there's a $1 rebate coupon.
You use that Best Buy, and I'll use this one. It's a lightweight lounger, easy to open, and a May Best Buy at just $7.77.
Best Buy time.
Right. Let's get to work.
Ace is the place.
Ace is the place with the helpful hardware man.
My dandruff's back and I just shampooed.
Stop worrying and take your medicine. Tegrin Shampoo Preventive Medicine that helps control dandruff 3 days.
Bad dandruff? And I shampooed today.
Stop worrying and take your medicine. Tegrin Preventive Medicine that helps control dandruff 3 days. Some shampoos just wash away flakes. Tegrin's proven medicine helps prevent dandruff's itching and flaking.
Nice hair.
Took my medicine. Tegrin.
Tegrin, preventive medicine that helps control dandruff 3 days.
Back in Phoenix now with big Maurice Lucas and, of course, the losing coach who... Yeah, Big Frank. Maurice, what turned it around for the Suns this year? The regular season, a disappointment. You came on so strong here in the playoffs.
Well, we had to make some adjustments early. We had to adjust on the guards. We had to get a set lineup. Early in the year, we didn't have a real set lineup. So now, late in the season, I'd say last month of the season, we started to turn it on. We started to get some guys, get some playouts, some guys that ordinarily hadn't been playing well, and they really started playing down the stretch, and that was very important for us.
Frank, what are your thoughts now? I know this was a terribly disappointing loss here tonight.
Well, I think that basically we had a good series. It was 6 games. We had a couple of games there that we could have won, and I feel that we played up to our capabilities. We looked a little tired tonight, and that's to their credit. I thought they played very physical. They played very sound. And to add to what Luke just said, that this is a team that's stuck with what they wanted to do. I think Coach McLeod probably did his best coaching job this season because he didn't panic. He played his people. He kept the system there, and they're a very solid and sound team. And we're young, and we make a few mistakes, and those things happen. But they deserve to win, and I wish them a lot of luck going on.
Congratulations on a great season, and Maurice will see you with the Lakers when we open that series Saturday afternoon in Los Angeles. And so now for Kevin Lockery and the rest of us, I'm Brent Musburger saying so long, reminding you that CBS will bring you Game 1 of the Western Conference Final between the Suns and the Lakers Saturday at 3:30 Eastern Time, live from the Forum. So long from Phoenix now, where the Suns have eliminated the Jazz, and coverage of the National Basketball Association has been a presentation of CBS Sports.